I'll get
No.
you in a few minutes. It's Tanya Smith here, guys and gals. Does anybody say gals anymore? That's so old school. How about this? Ladies and gentlemen. How about that? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. This is Stream Like a Boss TV. It's a special edition because I actually have a guest, and you know that I love when I get a chance to spotlight other people who have voices that really resonate with you as the audience and with me as well, because we have lots of things to talk about, don't we? In this world of AI, video, live streaming, you name it, there's a lot going on. Here's the thing, we know that AI can scale your message, but it can also quietly erase your authority if you're not too careful. And so, right now, a lot of experienced entrepreneurs, what they're doing is they are becoming known for the tool that they use instead of the problem that they solve. So, today, my special guest, Jennifer, is going to talk about with me how to use AI without losing your voice, your values, or the leadership that people actually follow. So, whether you are an OG and you know if you have been here for any of my videos and any of my episodes, you are now family. You're officially christened as a family member for the Stream Like a Boss community. So type in hashtag OG. And if you're brand new to the show and you've never been with us before, type in hashtag newbie. Either way, we want to welcome you and we hope you enjoy this chat. I am your host, video coach Tanya Smith. I am the founder of Get Noticed with Video LLC, and I lead this show, Stream Like a Boss TV, typically on Thursdays, but we help service based entrepreneurs and creators to create, connect, and convert by using live stream marketing strategies so that you can really support your own business growth and build authoritative brands. What I am ready to do is to bring on my guest. So I'm going to bring her on and then I'm going to do a short bio. Then we're going to ask her a quick, compelling question. Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Hey,
We do claps around here, lady. What's going on?
oh, a lot of things. I just finished a workshop here in my local area, helping local business owners get more visible.
Well, I'm getting
So
ready
it
to
was a
do
wonderful
this.
workshop.
I'm going to do this formal thing, but then I want you to talk a little bit about this workshop or just talk about anything that is not in the bio. Now, I have Jennifer Bennett do, but I also know that there's three names. There's one with a G. Should I just go with Jennifer Bennett? I should have asked
Jennifer
you.
Bennett is good.
Okay, that's what we're
Yeah,
going to do.
Jennifer Bennett is good.
Jennifer Bennett empowers visionary leaders to amplify their impact with clarity and integrity. So, y'all, this is the formal part I'm going to tell you. She does this without you losing yourself, without losing your time, and without losing your family in the process. She is a third generation entrepreneur, which I absolutely love. Jennifer built Get Desky, which we're going to talk about a little later, and it is a movement disguised as a mastermind. It helps high level leaders to shift from overworked operator to visionary owner through strategy, systems, and soul. Jennifer Bennett helps thought leaders reclaim their time, elevate their mission, and build businesses that thrive even when they're not in the room. So, again, Jennifer, what is not in the bio that the people need to know?
Uh, that I also trained horses and rodeoed when I was younger as well too.
What?
hmm
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, love that. I can see this. I can see this. So where are you located or where did you grow up and do horses?
I grew up in a little bitty town called McLeod, Texas. The
Okay.
population at the time was like less than 200 people.
Oh
We
my
had
God.
like a school, a gas station that sometimes had gas, and a post office. That was it. That was all that was there. Um, so we had to drive like 30 minutes to be able to go to the grocery store, all these different things. And so throughout that time, my mom and I and my grandmother um, lived on a ranch, and my dad would travel around building power plants. Um, and so I always adopted that if I could make a 1,500-pound animal behave, I can pretty much. hit anything head on,
Yes.
and conquer any challenges.
Yes, yes. Both of my daughters learned to ride when they were younger. They haven't for a while now because they're older, but yeah, because if you're in Texas, right? So you need to learn how to ride.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're known for our rodeos here. So,
Yes.
and so being able to do that and live that lifestyle, and it teaches you a lot of grit, teaches you a lot of integrity. It teaches you what it means to get up and, really work hard every
Mhm.
day, to be able to achieve whatever it is you are out setting out to do.
I love it, Jennifer. And I actually see, yep, see Nathalie put it in there. Let me go ahead and pop this up so you can see her comment. Because I was going to say this, but I didn't say it. Hold on, this one right here. Nathalie says, hi, Jennifer Greer Bennett. Because I know I've seen that on social media. Thrilled to see
Yes.
you.
Oh, it's good to see you too. We still need to connect. We've been like trying to connect with each other for like 3 years now.
She is amazing. She's amazing. She's been on the show as well. She was on my show called Midlife Unmuted. Let's talk a little bit more
Mm.
about systems because I know that that is your jam, right? Especially
Yeah.
with Get Desky being your invention. And I also want to make sure that people know if you have questions, we are live right now. So this is your time to get some questions answered. If you want to put any questions into the comments area or the chat, wherever you are, whether you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Substack, ask some questions. I see one that I'm going to star so I can make sure we come back to it. Yes, because this is an excellent question and we're going to get into it in a minute, but I'll pop it up a little later.
Mm.
So, when you look at the current AI boom, because you talk a lot about systems, automation, those type of things, and AI, which you were talking about before, we got on the show, what concerns
Yeah.
you the most for people who already have credibility and experience? What's concerning you about AI right now when it comes to that group of people?
Um, that people are using it to mass produce, but they're not taking the step to say, okay, like I went and I did all of these cool things, but pausing to say, does this sound like Jennifer? Like, is this something that if I saw Jennifer or I saw Tanya at a place that I would say? So it's really cool to be able to produce a lot of things quickly and have it typed for you, but in the shuffle of wanting to get so much done so quickly, we forget that pause part, to make sure that it sounds like you and that it's something that you would actually say when you're talking to someone. Um, and the other thing is the making sure that the AIs are well trained as well too.
Do you find that people, because I know in the work that you're doing, especially you talked about the class that you did earlier, when you think
Mhm.
about working with people on the idea of training, do they even understand what that means? Like, what is it that you have to tell someone who's starting from scratch, who just found out about AI today? What are you
Right.
sharing with them, Jennifer? How do they know what training means? What does that mean to you?
So it means a variety of things. First of all, you have to know what you want it to do. If we're going back to what I showed in my class today, I showed them how I was able to help them create 13 topics for them to do a video content series, to be more visible in their local area. And I did that by simply taking the links to their very specific places and saying, I have this client. This is what they're wanting to do. Here's the information. Only use this. So it goes back to being very clear in the directions that you give them. You can't just say, hey, here's this, create topics for that. You need to explain to it like what you're doing it, what's the goal? Why does this need to go out there? What is this for? Like what are we creating these videos for? Are we creating these videos for fun? Are we creating these videos so that they're going to help with their visibility so that when someone goes, and in this instance, it was a plumbing company, when they go to ChatGPT or they go to Google and they say, I need a plumbing company near me, it says, hey. It's these people and why. And
Mm-hmm.
then on the backside, being able to help articulate all the different things that you do. You know, for them, it came up with like tank versus tankless. Like, what does that actually mean? A lot of people don't know what that means, but they're going to call a plumber when their water heaters are not working properly. That's one of the things that a lot of people will call a plumber for. They're not going to YouTube how to fix their water heater.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, but they might YouTube like what's the difference between, you know, a on demand or a tank. And then even the tankless, there's two different types of those. So being able to understand those. And
So
so I very simply, I mean, it took 5 minutes for the thing to be able to pull it up. But it's getting back to the heart of communicating properly of what you want.
there's something I really want to get into, especially because of the topic or the title. And I realized as I was like going through the questions, I'm like, I'm not getting at what I want to get at, so I might throw some of these out. We're going to have
Right.
real talk right now. Is this cool? You
Let's
good with
go.
it?
Let's go.
Okay.
Yes.
Here's my real talk conversation. Two things that I'm finding to be of interest right now. And one is when we think about AI and authenticity, because somebody actually put this question in here. It was Roy. Let me pop it up so I can share it. How can I be AI automated and authentic at the same time? That is an excellent question. And that has been top of mind for me a lot lately, honestly, Jennifer, because the number one thing I'm seeing is that there are a lot of people who last week were doing one thing, and now this week they have become AI consultants and leaders. And I'm struggling with, and I use AI too, so I'm not knocking the use of
Right.
it. I'm just saying, how do you maintain authenticity and still leverage AI at the same time? How do you do that? And what advice would you give someone who is asking that question and finding themselves struggling between constantly relying on AI to create content versus their past knowledge and experience?
So there's a few different things. One of the things that I did towards the latter part of 2025 was create a knowledge base in Notebook LM. And the reason that I love Notebook LM is because it is like a closed directory of all of your knowledge. So you could take all of the YouTube interviews that you've done, you could download all the content that you've done on LinkedIn, you could download all the content you've done on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever. And you could put it in this whole thing, in this whole ecosystem, and it can allow you or your team, depending on, you know, like where you're at, to be able to create content from content you've already done.
Mm-hmm.
So that's working smarter in that sense. And if you're talking about automations, this is the same conversation that we started having when CRMs were coming about, you know, in the mid 2000s, you know, in 2010, 2011, when people were like, well, I want people to know it's me, but I also want people, you know, I want to be able to give them that information.
So
So
explain
going back to the
CRM,
heart.
CRM, because you know we're techie,
Mm.
but for
Right.
people who
Yes.
are watching, what is a CRM?
Mm. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Manager. So it is to manage the relationship. So that could be any sort of part of the relationship. So it could be the part where they come in and they get the thing. It could be the part where they've got the thing and now you're nurturing them to buy something. It could be they've bought something and now they need to get the thing. It could be any sort of that. It could be in the proposal process. It could be the post proposal process. It could be the offboarding. It could be the onboarding. It's basically managing the life cycle of a relationship. So you could have multiple loops of this open at the same time. And it basically allows you to stay systematized with this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I have found that people that have this and they start small and they figure out like where their gaps are in their relationships, where their relationships fall off, and then they fix that one gap, they find how they can automate that. Um, some people, it's they automate, and they're kind of getting away from this, but for the longest time it was PDFs, and
Mm-hmm.
digital downloads. Now it's
Yeah.
GPTs, now they're turning all of their downloads into custom GPTs,
Or micro
and
apps.
chat bot,
Mm-hmm.
micro apps,
Yeah.
micro SaaS, all these
Mm-hmm.
different little things. But so it's gone from that to these little chats, and things of that nature. And so being able to send them the link when they want it, be like, yes, they want that. Um, to also using tools that will allow you to record your actual process,
Mm.
to then train an AI to say, hey, this is what I would say. This is how you find what I need you to do. This is what I want you to do. And then just keep repeating it until you're done.
So I think I hear you saying if you want to maintain that balance of authenticity and using AI, that you really have to put your own self into it. That you have to
Yes.
add your personality. You need to train it on the way that you already speak and do things, how you manage your work, which I totally agree. But here's my concern, especially with newer people, people who are newer to business. So you and I have been doing things for a long time, right? I'm 20 something
Right.
years into coaching, and you have a lot of experience as well. So we have a database to pull from. We can say, I got all these videos over here. I'm going to pull those in. I've got, workshops and speaking engagements I've done, etc. What do we say to the people who are newer and just starting out with their business and not really clear on a source of information yet? Are they relying too much on AI? Should they pull back a little bit? Like, what's your philosophy on this for people who are newer and don't have an established source of information yet?
Um, I would say yes, they need to pull back on AI, because there are a lot of case studies out there right now that AI in general placates. So that means that it will tell you, oh my gosh,
This is
that's a
great.
really great idea.
Right.
No, it is not always a great idea.
That idea
Um,
sucks. It's not
so,
going to tell you that.
yes, should you use it to, like tease out like the thoughts that you have, like, hey, here's the thought that I have. Like, can you help me flush it out, to be like a really good thought? Um, and for those people that are newer, um, getting in the rooms with different levels of people is really, really helpful. Different levels of entrepreneurs, find a mastermind, find a local group. Um, I'm in a networking group. Mine is New Master Network. Some people do BNI. I have a relationship building community that I do here locally. We do different types of events. We do workshops. So we do relationship building type things, um, where it's not a whole lot of learning, but it's a whole lot of like doing things together. I think they voted on axe throwing is what we're going to do at the end of the month. So that's going to be fun. Um, but um, the point is you need to get around other people that are in the same position you're in, because you're going to need those people that you could lean on, that are, they're having struggles just like you.
Mm-hmm.
But then you need the people that are on the other side of the struggles. They're going to be like, look, like, I get it, I was there 5 years ago. Like, it's hard. Like, yes, you have 10 to 20-hour days,
Mm-hmm.
we get it, but we can show you like it is worth it. So you need those people as well too, so that you could go to them and you could say, look, like, this is my idea. Have you done anything like this? Have you participated in this? Like, what what experiences do you have like this? You have conferences you've been to. What did you like? What didn't you like? Because there's nothing better than having that actual interaction from people that done it. It's one thing to have ChatGPT or Perplexity or any of these pull up like, what's on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a whole nother thing to be able to sit down and say, look, like, tell me, like, what did you like? What didn't you like? What would you do different if this was your space? Um, how would you like to see this come to light? And
So
you'll be
really
surprised at the
incorporating
things that
other
come out.
people, bringing other people
Hmm.
into the mix is what I'm hearing you say, Jennifer, right? Like not just
Yes.
relying on your conversations with Chat GPT, but actually talking to other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Having a community, having those mentors that have done what you want to do, um, and then having those peers that are, somewhere, like you want to be in the middle. You
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be like the newest of the new, but you don't want to be like the highest achiever. So you kind of want to be in the middle when you're in this peer group.
Yeah.
Um, and then having mentors, because I can tell you the countless times that mentors along the way have helped me, be a better mom, be a better wife, be a
Mm-hmm.
better daughter, be a better business owner, be a better community leader, be a better speaker,
Mm-hmm.
be all these different things because they took the time to say, hey, have you ever thought about doing it this way?
I love that you are, and I'm going to pull up some comments while we're talking about this, but I love that you are giving people permission to not only be adept at using AI and tools and systems. Hey, Gabe. But I also love that you're saying not only do you do that, you also ensure that you are surrounding yourself with real people by networking in person. And I think that is really the main point, or one of the points that I'm sure will come out of this conversation is when you, it's so easy to get involved and engaged with AI that we forget about being with people. We forget that ultimately the goal, the real goal, is this is supposed to help us to better connect and to do the things that we need to do to serve people and to be served. So I love
Hmm.
that you're talking about that mix. It's not all systems, but it's also not all, it's not all of one thing. It's you being a whole human being.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and I will tell you this, Jennifer. I know we talked about this when we had our initial coffee chat to prep for this, and it was the idea that I found myself, and I know you can speak to this, getting so because I'm a nerd, and I think you are too, and I'm saying this in a good way. um, I found myself really loving AI and automation so much. I've always loved tech and software and systems, always loved it. But I was getting so deep into it that I was forgetting about who I am. And so I had to pull back and say, okay, hold up. Before I go to Claude, before I go to ChatGPT, before I go to something else, let me sit down and answer the question that I think I want to talk about. Like, what is the question that I'm tackling on this next video? And what are my real answers? And then I'll use AI to enhance that. Even I fell into that trap. Have you seen that happen? And has that happened to you?
Hmm. Yes, I think it does happen to us all, like especially when we're playing with it, we're trying to learn it, we're trying to figure out how to best use it for whatever it is we're growing and we're building and we're trying to help. Um, so I'm not going to sit here and say I've never fallen into that trap because yes, I did fall into that trap very, very heavily, especially when I was running Facebook ads for a lot of real estate agents. Getting into that space of, like I had to pseudo almost be a robot at that point because, I was creating ads and then the ads went to their CRM and from there, like it fired off a series of things and I created nurture campaigns that lasted over 4 years.
Wow.
And so, yes. Um, so yes, I did get very far down in that hole. And it gets really hard to stay human when you're nurturing people that you're creating templates that thousands of people are going to use worldwide.
Yeah.
specifically around buying a home. So it took a lot of tweaking, a lot of sitting down and really thinking like, how could you say this globally to where people still feel like it's like you're speaking one on one,
Mm-hmm.
but that knowing that thousands of people are going to download these templates and put them in their CRMs to nurture these people. Um, so yeah, I fell really heavily into that. Um,
What
and then
pulled you
pulling back
out?
on that, I got to the part where I just couldn't do that part anymore.
Mm.
And so I very, very rarely even take real estate clients on um, because they're a different mentality than what I actually coach and have in my communities now. Um, and so they have a different mindset than I do as far as like nurturing, follow-ups, prospecting, all the different things. So they come in and they learn this different way, and if they actually do it properly, they will do better. But it's tackling that mindset um, that becomes very challenging
Mm-hmm.
if they're not ready for that. And so what pulled me out of it is I didn't want to be known as like the tech girl anymore. I wanted to be known for that person that was going to hold the space for the people to really build out what they wanted.
Yeah.
Whether that's holding space for, these entrepreneurs that I have here locally that they just want to be able to be shown the people that are already looking for what it is they offer. And I know so many little things over the years of like the policies, the procedures, and like the little privacy policies and the terms and conditions that need to be on their websites.
Yeah.
All these little, like your Facebook pages, you need to have a handle for them, how to create those so that when you're speaking to people and they're like, oh my gosh, Tanya, I love connecting with you. What's your Facebook handle? And being able to say, like, it's not, Facebook slash bunch of letters and numbers,
Five,
but
four,
it's like,
three, ABC two. Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's just like little things like that. It's like, what's your Instagram handle? Jen G. Bennett, and it makes it so much easier for people to remember it. And they're like, wow, like she's so put together. She knows it. Well, it's because it's easy to remember, but um, it makes it to where people want to connect with you because you've made it simple for them to connect with you.
So here's a question I'm going to shift a little bit. This is something else that we talked about. And this is why I wanted us to have this conversation because I was like, okay, we are vibing here on these topics that are really, I'm not going to say they're controversial, but I'm going to say I can see seeds of dissent and concern around the use of AI. Not in the way that I know that there are some people who are like, oh my God, no AI, right? Not that. But I'm saying
Right.
what I'm finding is that there are a lot of people, and I kind of alluded to this earlier, that have decided I'm just going to become an AI consultant because, hey, I'm using AI, therefore I can consult other people on how to use it. Now, you, again, we both have a background of systems and tech and that type of thing. So it made sense. It makes sense to me that this is a path that you're taking and that you have Get Desky, which we're going to show people the website. In fact, let me do that really quickly so that we can showcase your link. Okay, this is getdesky.com. I'm going to have her talk a little bit about it in a few minutes. This is your space that you created. But
Mm-hmm.
there are people who are, again, they just went through a class yesterday and now all of a sudden they're consultants. I know there's room, and I'm not saying from the sense of scarcity that there's not enough room for all of these AI consultants. What I'm saying is,
Right.
how do we help creators, entrepreneurs, etc., avoid the trap of becoming known for the tool instead of their gift? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
Yes. And it's a question that I've gotten asked quite a bit, because because I do know how to create frameworks almost as out of thin air, just because I've
Yep.
been doing it for so
And you knew it
long. That,
before.
like,
You
yes,
knew this before, though, Jennifer. Am I right?
yes, I
Okay.
did. Yes, yeah. And so because I know how to build these frameworks and build these systems and these processes, um, you you kind of can take that and put that into AI space. And so I would encourage those people to go and find people that uh, have been in this space for a really long time and be sub consultants for them. Because, yes, they should definitely go and share their zone of genius, and they could very well outperform those other people. Um, but there are tactical application things that will come up that until you actually have the real world experience, you're not going to be able to actually overcome those, and it's going to eat up your time.
Yep.
Where you and I, we have been in this for so long, we could already anticipate those, and we could put those in our frameworks and our systems and our processes at the start.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say definitely seek out experience. Definitely figure out if you need to intern somewhere or if you need to go and work with another company. Tell them, like, hey, look, I'm new. Here's what I've learned. Here's what I want to learn. So be open and transparent with them. Be like, look, like, I want to help these people. I understand that, that, you guys need AI, and I'm willing to do the classes, things. However, um, you need to understand that I'm still new and I'm also still learning. Um, because it seems like every day there's AI consultants out
I'm
there.
going to check something because I'm getting a note that there's some echoes happening. So let me see if I just fixed
Yeah.
it. Jennifer, say something really quickly. Let me see if I just fixed it for us. Thank you, Bill, for the note.
Yes, thank you for letting us know.
Okay. Let me know if that fixed the echo. It might have.
Did it fix
Okay.
it?
It's better. Okay. Good, good, good.
Sweet,
So that was
sweet.
probably something in, I don't know, in the setup. And I should have tested that. But thank you for letting us know. Hey.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Oh, he says much better now. Yay.
Okay.
Thank you for
Good,
letting
good,
us
good.
know. Um, and did you see the note about your volume was lower than mine?
Yeah, I saw that too. But I think I'm actually pretty high and I'm a little nervous about that. So let me try it right there. Let me know if that fixed it too. Yeah, everybody's saying that, huh? Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
just on YouTube. I should be up now. That's me not checking levels. I turned it down earlier when we had our music on.
Yeah, we were jamming out.
See? Okay.
Um,
So it's back. Good. Here's what I would offer to add to what you said, and let me just okay, hearing that is perfect. Thank you. One of the things that I know, first of all, I want to recap a little bit about what we talked about since we were up and down on the audio. It sounds like one, if you want to maintain authenticity, if you want to have authenticity and still use AI, don't forget about being human. Don't forget about connecting with other people. Find ways to network and to connect, whatever that looks like for you in your area. I love that you're doing a lot of local work, Jennifer, because that says a lot about who you are and that you're not forgetting, even though you know systems and tech and all of that, you're not forgetting the human element. So that's the one thing. The second thing I heard from you is that if you do decide, hey, I want to get into AI consulting, and you just started this, one of the best things you can do is not simply to take a few AI classes online, but also to study under people who have the aptitude and the technical background even pre AI, so you can understand frameworks and systems and how those flow. But here's what I'm going to also add, because it was a mistake on my part. And I'm just telling all my business, so this hopefully is okay. I mean, I'm talking about myself in a bad way, but it is what it is. It's a lesson learned. I found myself last year, Jennifer. Okay, I have tons of certifications. So every time I'm learning a new topic, I get certifications. And I did get an AI consulting certification. But at some point, I had to slap my own hand and say, hold up, that is not what I want to be known for. The world has a lot of people who do a lot of different things. We shouldn't all be the same thing, because then we're not serving humanity in the way that we were born to serve. We're not operating in our gifts. Let me circle back and rethink about what is my specialty. My service is talking about video marketing, specifically live streams, is what I love to talk about. So I had to kind of remind myself, no, I don't want to become an AI consultant. What I want to do is to do my live stream marketing strategy and coaching well, and I will leverage these tools to support that. So that's part of what I was getting at with that question, too. And Jennifer, again, because I know you already had that background and you've been doing this, I get why you are an AI consultant. What I want other people to understand is you don't have to become one just to use AI. You can use it and use it to enhance your true gift. The way that you serve can be enhanced by that. Does that make sense? And I don't know if you want to add anything
Yeah.
or even push back.
Yeah. And so so we don't fully AI consult. We do systems and processes, which then helps with your AI. Because if you don't know like a system or a process, you can't
Mm-hmm.
train your AI to do what it is you want it to do. Um, and so we do get asked quite a bit to come and speak about AI. And then I'm like, well, which one? What are you wanting me to do? Like, and then half the time I'll go find an AI expert for them. Um, and versus me doing that. But they have to understand the system, the processes, the frameworks, like the goals, all these things before they could go and just do this. It doesn't matter if you're building a micro SaaS, doesn't matter if you're building a full blown like AI um, model for, whatever it is you're doing. Um, but you got to be able to understand the baseline of like, how could I teach this to a fifth grader? Because that's what you're doing when you're teaching AI. If you can't teach this to a fifth grader, you're not going to be able to teach it to an AI. You're going to sit there and you're going to be frustrated with it because you can't articulate the goal it is that you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. What's your litmus test for deciding what platforms or tech to adopt versus ignore?
So I am not one of those people that jump on the fads for anything. So I haven't even done the claw bot or
Me
whatever it
either.
is this week. I don't know what it is. I'm not even on Threads yet or TikTok. So we'll just
What?
go
No, I'm
with
just kidding.
that. So I really think about a few different things, and I think we talked about this because you were like, I don't know if I should move to school or not, and I was like, well, like let's talk about what's actually going to work for you, what's
Yeah.
working for you. Like, is there a specific reason why you want school? Was it just a fad, or was it, is there some kind of thing that school has that some of these other platforms don't have? And we ended the conversation. You're like, I'm staying where I'm at. I think you have Circle. I
I
think that's
have
what
a
you're saying.
heartbeat. Mm-hmm.
Heartbeat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It was one of those.
Yeah.
And you're like, nope, I'm going to stay there because it serves everything you need. A lot of this question revolved around for the longest time of CRMs. And I would tell people, go and try multiple CRMs. See which one makes you empowered to go and do the thing. And then once you have that, don't worry about the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
For you it's heartbeat, for me it's school. Um, and that's where I have it, and then my Instagram, my Facebook, and my LinkedIn are where I lead generate from. Those are where they come from, and then they just all pull into my school communities, whether it's my local one or it's my global entrepreneurs one.
Talk about your Get Dusky. I'm going to pull it up real quick here so that people can
Yeah.
see the site. What do you do here?
Yeah, so we help entrepreneurs simplify their systems and processes so that they can maximize their impact. We help mainly coaches, authors, speakers, consultants simplify whatever it is they're trying to do to get more results faster. I launched this company with my mom, which is right there. She's probably listening somewhere on one of the platforms,
Hey,
maybe
Mom.
Facebook, probably Facebook. Um, and this comes from a culmination of the years that I did of doing over 5,000 real estate ads, and also coaching them on how the best way to follow up with these people that would come into their systems um, from the paid ads, and really getting them to the heart of what's going to get them their goals faster. And a lot of the times, these people, they come to me and they're like, I need to have a funnel page, I need to have all these different things. Um, when in reality, they really just need to have a simple way to go talk to more people. That usually means a Calendly link and then a way for them to get somebody to pay them.
Yep.
And then, because then by having all of those conversations, then you know what to put on your landing pages. You know what to put in your emails. You know what to put, on your social media. You start being able to learn how to speak to your people. So I really flip it from, all these people who are like, I just changed one thing on my landing page and now I got thousands of sales. It's like, that's, that's after you probably talked to thousands of people before that happened.
Exactly. I love it. Okay. If you had to give one piece of advice as we get ready to wrap up about embracing your authenticity, not just becoming, not just being controlled by AI itself, but you embracing your authenticity over AI, what would that piece of advice be?
It's okay to be weird and to be misunderstood often. I get misunderstood quite often. And I also, once you find your core values, being okay with not everybody's going to line up with those,
Yeah,
and
I agree.
still being able to be respectful and knowing that you can serve them, but they're not within your core values.
Love it. I'm going to pull up and see if we have any other questions or comments. And again, thank you, Rachel, for confirming the audio was low. I saw it later. I'm a little late to the party. And then Colette as well. Everybody's saying that's back. I don't see questions right now, but if any of you have questions, here's what I'm going to do. I'm checking over on Substack as well. Okay. Yeah, the audio was wonky. I'm sorry about that, guys. We'll have to fix this. I will fix it offline and make sure that we rebroadcast. When I upload this into Substack, it will be fixed. And maybe what I'll do is rebroadcast it in YouTube. But Jennifer, this has been great conversation. I hope that people will follow you. Should it be at Get Desky or somewhere else? Where do you want follows?
Yeah, let's do my Facebook. It's
Okay.
facebook.com/Jen G. Bennett, CEO.
Here, I'm going to pop that up. / Jen G. Bennett, CEO. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Let me pop this up for everybody. So do feel free to go and hang out with Jen over here. There's the family. And I'm going to pop up. Let me do this real quick here too. I will pop up. Looks like I'm having some other issues too over on Substack for some reason. Here we go. Facebook. Ooh, that's big. But is it
Yeah.
accurate though? That's the question.
It is accurate. Yes, it is accurate. I just updated that earlier today to show my cohort how to do that. Yeah, so it's accurate.
Love. Oh, and there we are. We're broadcasting live. Look at that.
Yeah.
All righty, ma'am. Anything else that you
Yeah.
want to leave people with? Is there like one little piece of advice or something that you want to share? You know what? Besides that, because you gave a piece of advice, here's my question for you to end with.
Yeah.
Favorite piece of tech that you cannot live without, whether it's software or hardware, whatever. What's your favorite?
Mm. I've really been crushing on Perplexity Max.
Okay.
I really,
Why?
it saves the day. So, and I just showed this with my mastermind.
Okay.
Is I run this large community. It's the largest Facebook group in my city. And there are days where I get hundreds of comments on one of my posts. So you can imagine that that can get a little crazy. So I showed them how I trained my AI with ScribeHow and then went to, it took that ScribeHow, which is a how-to little software, and put it into Perplexity's Max Assistant and trained the AI how to respond to all of my comments on my posts.
Scribe how? SCRIBE how HOW?
Yes,
Okay. Okay. I'm digging this. And this is how does that
lifesaver.
connect to
It's like
perplexity though?
this.
Is it a part of perplexity or what's the
No, it's two completely different softwares. So
Okay.
it's Perplexity and then ScribeHow. ScribeHow has been saving my mental like loads for years.
Okay.
So I found it on LinkedIn through Social Saturdays when that was a big thing. And it pretty much uh, is like GIFs meets PDF. It screen records and it's like point click here. It's like if somebody's like, hey, how do you do something? You could go in, you could push this button, capture it, boop, 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 send it.
Ooh. I am loving this. Okay. And now I got to go back and check Perplexity Plus out since I just had basic Perplexity and I look at it for main, like just research, general research, even medical stuff. Like I look up different things in there, but I had not thought about using it in the way that you just said, which is awesome.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
cool.
So I have one post that usually goes semi-viral every Friday in my group, and I usually get anywhere between 100 to 200 comments on it. And so I have trained it to thank everybody in the community in the comments and then ask them if they want the paid version of the community
Okay.
in the comment.
But even though
So
it's limited with Facebook groups doing third party integrations, how does that work?
because I use the browser.
Uh, okay, girl. You just opened up a whole new world for your sister over here. So I'll be checking that out. And this is what
Yeah,
Jennifer does and why she is so good at helping people to understand, well, to break down complex things, systems, and workflows, and all of the things into simpler processes using tools and automation. So I love that you're doing that.
yeah. And it
Yes.
makes it to where you get more time with your family because that's what everybody wants.
Yes.
That's what we get into these businesses is to be able to spend more time with our families, enrich their lives, enrich our communities.
And to get more hugs.
And more hugs, yes, yes. You got to see my youngest give me a hug earlier
I
today.
did.
I'm surprised she hasn't made a cameo.
She did a little bit earlier on, but yeah, I love it. I love it. Thank you, Jennifer, for spending time with us today. Folks, apologies for the audio issues. That really is on me because I should have done better to check that. I will make sure that we have that situated before we rebroadcast. And we just appreciate you for coming and hanging out with us today. For those of you who are on Substack, I've been watching. Thank you so much for saying hello and for confirming that you're here. Thank you for those of you in YouTube, LinkedIn, and the other spaces who we were able to showcase your comments. I'm saying that because, Jennifer, I want Substack to let us showcase comments here in third-party tools because I love the engagement. So a lot of people, if you want to give her some love, make sure you go and follow Jennifer on the Facebook that we shared earlier and at getdesky.com to find out more about what she does. Thanks again, Jen.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We'll see you guys later. And we'll next time in the stream, we'll be back on next week for another stream, okay?